Hey everyone, happy Friday and welcome back to AFTV. This is FANZONE, which means it's your chance to have your say here on the channel. Download the AFTV Plus app. It's super easy to do and you can have your say via FANZONE. We really want to hear from you. The show just doesn't, it doesn't exist without you coming in, having your say. It's our chance to not have to talk to each other, Cecil. That's the best bit about it.
Well, yeah, that is very true. Actually, it's to hear from other people. I think this is what it's all about, though. It's what it is. It's FANZONE all around the world. Have your say on the topics that we're going to be discussing today. And there's some nice ones. I got some.
No, we have a lot to go into because when we were planning this yesterday, obviously we said a chance to chat to people about the North London derby. We're absolutely going to do that. We're going to delve into the Ramsdale-Raya stuff going into the game, what people want to see and all that. But plenty's happened since. We don't ignore the Toney links that have been happening. I think it's about time we actually address those on the channel and talk about it and understand why he's an option Arsenal will be looking at. Odegaard signed a new deal. We did do a breaking news video that's out now, but we'll sort of just delve into that a little bit more. I really want to hear from the fans kind of what Odegaard means to them and why they're so happy about it or not happy if someone isn't happy about it.
Imagine.
And you met Thierry Henry. So let's make some time for that in a little bit as well. But let's just start with following on from the breaking news we had.
Yep.
That Martin Odegaard signed a new 5-year deal. He's become Arsenal's top earner. And he's the captain of the club. And he's only gone from strength to strength since we signed him.
Yep.
And I love him. And it's just great news that, like I mentioned in the breaking news video, that Saka, Saliba, Odegaard, Martinelli, Gabriel last season, Ramsdale in the summer.
You said it, done it, you said it again. Your ex's name. It's all good, but Ramsdale's obviously re-signed as well.
That might be my favourite ever
that
fan cam.
Top moment. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check out James's fan cam from the
So
weekend.
basically, I was talking about David Raya. I said Aaron Ramsdale. This is my fan cam, and I said I called him my ex's name. But anyway,
it was a good moment. But listen, I'm the same, James. If I'm honest, Martin Odegaard re-signing is phenomenal news from Arsenal. They're getting. I think we look at and the window's just hasn't just closed, but the summer window's closed, and everyone wanted new signings. We want the new shiny toy. Everyone gets excited. I get excited to do welcome videos and whatnot. But we kind of we kind of forget how important it is re-signing your top assets, especially nowadays where Arsenal have assets in the side that, it could potentially make us a load of money. I don't want to send in other players, but it does create an asset for Arsenal. So it's just as important as making a new signing. Some people say letting players go is just as important. Yes, but I think it goes signing new players and also re-signing your top stars, which is what we're doing.
Well, you're protecting. I'm just going to move my laptop over. Apologies. You're protecting yourself in many ways.
Yeah.
You're keeping the players you want to keep, which is priority. If Martin Odegaard, your captain, one of your best players, cool, you've tied them down. Now, when clubs do come looking, and I believe they will at some point, at least that you've got them tied down to a 5-year deal as well, where it's hard to lose them because you want to keep them, but there's value there if there is a deal to be done, and actually maybe times change in football. We know players don't last at clubs that long, and hey, we've got 5 years on Martin Odegaard now.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense financially from a football perspective. I think it makes sense almost from a morale perspective. Martin Odegaard is being rewarded very rightly for how brilliant he's been and the fact that he is the leader of this team.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think that's been reflected in the pay. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I just think that's something that I think it feels balanced to me.
It does.
I think that's a good thing.
It does. I do want to lead actually just with a question to the people in the comments and listening in, and I want James to answer this as well, because we're going to get to later on, Thierry, but I was at the FIFA event, first one ever that I've been to, not the first one ever, but the first one I've been to, so I felt very blessed to be there. But I got interviewed by someone, Football Beyond Borders, big up them, great company, and they asked me the question about leadership, and they said, who would be the captain? Take away Martin Odegaard, who has the most amount of leadership in the Arsenal Football Club side currently, and who would be your captain if Martin Odegaard wasn't it? And I'll be honest, I struggled because I wanted Gabriel Magalhaes when they had the whole leadership group and was trying to decide who should be the captain. And now, obviously, my mind went straight to Declan Rice. So people in the comments, who would be your? But I think, is that too soon? It's very soon to say Declan Rice should be, the captain if Martin Odegaard isn't. But he's come in and it feels like the natural transition. Obviously, Odegaard, I think should forever be our captain and he's superb at it. But when I had the question, I really struggled because I was like, Saka leads by, taking us out of sticky moments and scoring opening goals and stuff. And, Gabriel Magalhaes is a defender and I think that's kind of natural and he leads from the back. Saliba's been phenomenal since he's been at Arsenal. But Rice, is it too, like, who would you go to?
A lot of people in the comments are saying Declan Rice. I think there's an example of this where it has or is working and there's an example where it hasn't. It's very early. And this is as a very obscure reference, but Ajax this summer signed a young defender called Josip Sutalo, and he's worn the armband from day one. And apparently he's impressed in the early games. I haven't watched that much of him, but I think his debut went very well, whatever. Harry Maguire was also given the armband very early.
Too soon,
and came with a similar price tag to Maguire and to Rice, and a lot of hype and expectation around that signing. The signing they felt would take them to the next level. And I think it's fair to say, while his first season probably wasn't as bad as it's actually reflected on, it's only gone downhill for Harry Maguire. Maybe that pressure didn't do him any favours. I think Declan Rice could rise to it. I think Gabriel Jesus is a good shout for captain.
Say that as well.
I think give it a year or two, but a William Saliba could easily be. Gabriel, by the way he plays, and he fronts everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's the kind of guy who's like, smash the ball in my face, I dare you.
And also he will back up when someone goes down a bad chat. He's first in there.
Yeah.
And there's question marks over his English speaking, but I know he speaks English very well now. He's been doing lessons and I know that. So that was always my number one, but now it's like, it's just distorted.
You'll think I'm mad because he doesn't start every week, but if in the 11, Jorginho, I think could wear the armband.
I mean, yes, yeah.
But it's interesting we haven't said Martinelli or Saka.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I like my young, flary wingers to just enjoy their football.
And not have the pressure of being captain.
Yeah, just go do your thing.
But is he...
Zinchenko's a great shout.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Zinchenko is another good shout. But then, like, Saka feels like the face of our... is that really bad? No, that's what it feels like. But
he's definitely the face of the revolution of the
Arsenal.
squad. Like, he was there when it was bad.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Jesus wasn't in the trenches with us.
No.
But he's also a big part of what's pulled us.
But that's
to a
why
level
Saka.
we're really
I wouldn't
proud of.
say Saka. I wouldn't say. By the way, you're right. But it's so weird that none of us have said that. When to me, he is the face of the revolution of Arsenal or the new Arsenal.
Some people say Ben White, but I just think Ben White's he has too much
He doesn't
fun
care.
doing his own.
He's sort of. Sorry, that sounds really bad. He definitely cares.
No, but like he obviously cares. But like he doesn't look like he cares. And I feel like
you look to a captain, he's just like.
Yeah, he'll sort of trip up the ref and be like, all right, anyway, we love him, Benny Blanco. All right, let's take some callers and let's ask them about Martin Odegaard and the reaction to signing a new 5-year deal. We've got Mark as our first caller. Let's chat to Mark. Mark, how you doing?
Oh, hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. First time I've been on it. It's a bit. I've watched you guys for us, so it's cool to be here, man.
It's amazing to have you. Welcome to FANZONE. Welcome. Great question there, Cecil was posing. Who would be a captain if it weren't Odegaard?
Oh, when I was listening to you, I was as soon as you asked the question, I said Rice. I don't know what it is. It's just he
too soon. No, so what? Say if Odegaard the captain Odegaard to get moved, say next week or for the North London derby.
Yeah.
Do you just think Rice just straight away is the first person that you'd go with, or is it too soon or not?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I swear Odegaard, when he got captain, he was only here for like maybe a year in. I guess he had that loan spell as well.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes I feel like, he's our £100 million big signing of the future. Is going to be like an integral part of this team, and he was captain of West Ham. I think he's future England captain. I just think like it makes sense, and I don't think sometimes and also he started so well. Like, if he was shaky and giving away goals, like we're not going to give Havertz the armband, right? So I think that's definitely part of it. But that's
never
what came to mind. Man. You know what? Havertz false 9 captain, bro. That's how I win in the league.
Never write off Miguel. It's quite funny because the reason why I giggle because I saw Eddie. Listen, I saw Eddie with the captain's armband. That's no heat to him. Obviously, that brings a load of confidence. But
that's a good point. I forgot about that.
You never know. You never know. But interesting. So okay, it is a good point though that you make there. I think I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. Rice was the first thing that comes to my head. I'm not going to hide away from that. But then I had an internal battle in my head, thinking it's very early, but it seems like the right man. He would rise to it if Odegaard wasn't there. But listen, Odegaard signing a new contract, 5 years. Hopefully we get 5 years of him being the captain here at Arsenal and it not falling away.
I wanted to ask, where does Where does Odegaard rank in terms of our best players? I think we all agree he is very much filling the shirt as the leader, wearing the armband well. He's driving us through mainly his performances and he leads by example. But it's been a long time since we've even had a debate that we're remotely proud of when it comes to who our best players are. Or at least there's plenty of candidates. Where does Odegaard rank for you?
God, I feel like it changes week to week sometimes.
Yeah, it does. That's why I asked.
Because I feel like against PSV, look, I know the opposition were open and we did sort of play around a bit and it was pretty easy on the attack. But I feel like he played at a level. I was watching with my dad and I was like, I don't know if I think he's gone up a little bit. Because I feel like every time it's the same with Saka. Every time you think you know how good these players are, they just keep going up levels. So I feel like we're gonna have to revisit this like after the Spurs game. Because like, I mean, I always say Saliba because it's so hard. Who would be the hardest to replace? I think Saliba. He's so important to the way we play from the back, and I mean the injury and the title, made a big difference. I guess we haven't had Odegaard out of the team. Not that I ever want that to happen. So touch wood on that, but that's what I would say. Yeah, because I think if teams could take any player from our team, like other teams, Real Madrid could take one player. I think a lot of the elite teams would take Saliba, to be honest.
Okay, let's push for it. This is a safe answer.
No, I think that's a great point.
Saliba first, but then where does Odegaard rank? Because people are doing it in the comments where they're ranking.
He's two.
Odegaard's two,
Odegaard's, if he's not... Yeah, I mean... Look, I love Saka, but we've got great players.
It's a beautiful thing to debate.
No, it's a great problem.
Yeah,
Mark,
it's a good problem to have, man.
Yeah.
Let's get a quick score prediction from you for the North London derby.
Oh man, I love Turkish going for the 5-1. I rate that so much. I'm probably going to go for the classic 3-1 Arsenal we seem to do every year, man.
All right, well listen, I'll take that right now. Big thanks for joining us, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark.
And we've got Jake
next
as well.
Thanks very much, mate. Have a good show.
Thanks,
Have a great
mate.
weekend.
We've got Jake joining us as well next. Jake, how you doing?
Oh, we can't hear you.
I'm great. How about you guys?
Yeah,
there's a slight delay, so we'll ask the question and then we'll sit quiet for 5 seconds because there's a slight delay on the audio. Give us your top 5 Arsenal players. Go on, rank them because Odegaard signed the new deal. I know, a big question. I know, but it's not to diminish Odegaard.
No,
It's to just, I want everyone to realise how good our squad is. Feel good before the North London derby. What would your top 5 be? Or where does Odegaard rank at least?
Oh, that's tough. It's Henry, obviously. Probably Bergkamp.
Oh, no, I mean this current team. But yes. I see why you were shocked, because that is a big question. Where does Odegaard rank
I'm
ever?
actually quite intrigued to hear where he ranks in the Arsenal's all-time.
Odegaard was coming next.
Thierry Vieira, Odegaard.
Yeah. Forget Tony Adams.
Right now, Odegaard won. He's the most important player on this team. Wow. He's captain on and off the ball. You can tell he leads us forward. He was an absolute wild man for PSV. You could see he really wanted it. He was really up for it. And like I say, on and off the ball, he's an absolute masterclass on the ball. Just makes some of the greatest touches. Fantastic to see. And in the press, he's pushing people forward. And I've heard that he is kind of a leader by example. Yeah. But you can also see him yelling at people and organizing and making sure people are in the right spot. And even in the game versus PSV, he dropped deep and was bringing the ball forward. So I think that he's doing everything right now. And, here's the best point I can make about it. It's been a long time since I would have bought a jersey with somebody's name on the shirt. Yeah. Robin Van Persie's last name jersey that I have, I would buy Odegaard in a heartbeat. I'd have him on the shirt in a heartbeat. Number one in this team.
So it's Cody. Where are you calling in from? I'm quite intrigued by
North Carolina.
Wow, amazing. North Carolina. Amazing. I want to ask you this is the question that we asked to the first caller as well. Who would be the captain if Odegaard wasn't for you?
It's a question of timing, right? So right now, here today, it's Gabriel Martinelli.
Wait. Magalhaes or Martinelli? So you just broke...
Magalhaes.
Okay, I like that. But
ask this same question next year at this time, it's Declan Rice all day long. Don't be surprised. He'll be vice captain next year.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance of it. Quick score prediction for the North London derby.
3-0, light work.
That's what I've got.
3-0, light work. You're confident, Turks is confident.
Oh, yeah. Spurs have yet to have Basuma and Maddison marked out of the game. That's the way we press. Look at how we approached this game. We tried to blanket Rodri. Look at how we played against United. Havertz was all over Casemiro. So when Maddison and Basuma are out of the game, they'll have no answer. 3-0.
That's a really great point. You're right. They haven't had that test. Some fantastic insight. Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, I did want to thank Cecil for talking to me in DC. I know you were on your way. You were really eager to get to the fan cams, but you did stop back in DC. Thanks for doing that, man. You even asked me about my podcast. It's the Cup Chasers. Dude.
Oh, thanks yes, again. I remember. No, amazing. Listen, not a problem, man. Not a problem.
You're a lucky guy. He never normally stops. He normally says, "Do you know who I am? Can you leave me alone, please?"
I only stop for Thierry normally. Joking up. No, lovely to see you again, man. Thank you for that.
Say your podcast again, just very quickly.
It's the Cup Chasers on YouTube.
Amazing, guys. Everyone go check it out. Go check it out. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Just before we go to our next caller, so our top 5 current Arsenal players, this has got me thinking, okay?
Don't make me do this.
I think Declan Rice might already be our best player. Maybe.
James, you're not doing that. Number 1 already.
Yeah. Above Henry, above Bergkamp. No, but
serious. But mine's Bukayo Saka. Even though he has dropped, but it's the bias in me. I can't.
Remove the bias.
Bukayo Saka. I can't move it. I've seen so much from the young boy.
He's phenomenal.
In so many circumstances.
And he's on the brink of world class. But do you know what I find so amazing about this group is, I think you can make a good argument for, because you say Saka, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got no problem with that. If anyone says to me Saka's our best player, I don't go, what? But I think anyone could also argue Rice, Saliba, Odegaard, Jesus.
So Rice over Odegaard for you? You love Odegaard. And
well, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe. I think it might be right. But also, let's see what he does in this North London derby. But I've seen a home against Man United, big performance. Yeah. Away at Goodison, away at Palace, big performances. In the Community Shield against Rodri, big performance. Like, he's already put in some big ones and some man of the match moments. He covers the midfield completely on his own. I think he's so unique as a defensive midfielder. I don't mean as a 6 deep line playmaker, as a defensive ball winning midfielder. And we had the super fan debate. You guys will see the combined 11, and it's a little bit of a spoiler, but they really battle for Basuma. Now, I'm not dissing Basuma. Maybe I haven't watched as much of him as Tottenham fans. In fact, I haven't. But I just struggle to believe anyone can cover ground the way Declan Rice does. So I'm really interested to see that battle in the North London derby. But yeah, you could go Saliba. You could go Jesus.
I think Saliba.
Martinelli for me is as good as Saka.
Yeah, I've mentioned my bias for attacking players, but Saliba, if you're a defender lover, you can look at him and say, in big game, in every time he's on the pitch, you can argue Saliba's probably up there. He's always consistent. He could be number 1, and I couldn't argue that either, because he's pulled up in all big moments for Arsenal and has been so consistent inside. So that is a good conversation to have.
Yep, and
a good conversation to have.
We do. No, we could go on this for ages.
We could do a whole show on this.
We want to add more quality players. One of them is Toney. Before we talk about Toney, though, you met a striker who has played for Arsenal once or twice.
Dare. I met the king himself. But anyway, carry on. Address him by his real name, the king.
You met Nicholas Bender.
There he is. Oh my God. Sorry, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
Talk us through it. Why did you do this to him?
Why did I put my presence on Thierry? Now, I'll quickly run through it briefly, because again, this is not about me. This is completely about them. The fans, this is what AFTV is. But honestly, I went to the FIFA event, like I mentioned. I felt very privileged to be in that room. It's the first time I've ever been to it, a FIFA event. I know it's EAFC, but it was a lot of creators there, loads of people. Ian Wright was there as well. Big up Ian Wright. And just a lot.
Did you meet Ian?
I didn't actually get to meet him. I met Rio. Rio passed me. I've known Rio really a little inside here. He's a bit of a family friend from back in the day. So saw him and spoke with him, and he said he was going to go meet Wrighty and do an interview. So I was like, oh, cool. So he's here. But I heard Thierry was in the building. big up Righty, but when I heard that news, I got hot sweats instantly. But listen, I can keep my composure around a lot of people. We've met through this line of work. I've met a load of legends and icons and whatnot, and I've been very grateful for that. One man, the last Infinity Stone, James. You know this as well.
So who are the others as well?
So we've met. So Mikel was one of the Stones. The Kroenkes, surprisingly, was one of the Stones. But that's amazing. Got to meet him. David Dean he's one of the big Stones as well there.
Edu.
And Edu, was one of the big Stones. I've met Bakayo and Martinelli and stuff, but those were the main. Those are the main four. The last one was Thierry, and I heard he was in the room. Now, this is a shameless story.
Who's going to tell him there are 6 Infinity Stones? Did you not watch the Avengers?
I did watch it. I'm a big fan of it. There's 6. There's now 5.
Just split the Kroenkes, Josh and Stan.
Josh, there we go. We're split in half. We split in half. Like, when the Mind Stones split. But anyway, so then I found out he was in the building just quickly. Yeah. And I lost all composure. I understand that the position I'm in and as a presenter and whatnot, you should never do that. I went to the media room. There was a bunch of security there. They said, "You're not getting through." Gladly, they knew that I was from AFTV, so they knew how much this meant to me. I said to them, "Guys, I don't care about anything else right now. I don't care about the game. I just need to meet Thierry. That's it for me." Okay? They laughed. They said, "You're not going to see him." I said, "Okay, do me a favor. Just let me know, right? Once he's done this media interview, is he going to go straight to out, or is he going to come through? Because apparently he walked through the event to get to this room. He's going to come back through." They went and asked. He said, "No, he's going straight out the back in the car. You're not going to meet him, Cecil." I said, "Just watch me." I waited there.
They don't know what pest this guy is.
I was eye to eye with the security the whole time. Commotion happened. I knew he was leaving. They all gather. I think he actually knew there was people waiting. The security guards and all that. They all gathered. He leaves the room. I get a glimpse of his shiny head. I know that back of that head. I go, "TT!" I shout it.
You shouted TT?
I shouted it.
Okay.
Don't care. He looked back. I've never been this guy, and people probably think you're lying, but I've never been this guy. I said, "Please," I said, "Sir, please, can I just get one photo?" I don't do this. I know you may have seen me photos with people, but I don't ask like this. I ask shamelessly. I said, "Please." He said, "Come." I looked at the security guards. I said, I walked up to him. I don't know what I said at this moment. I think I said thank you about 16 times. I said something like, I said thank you. I was shaking.
Did you hug him?
Of course I hugged him. Did you see how I meet Edu? I hugged him, yes, before I took the photo.
Was this one of those where...
He may not have liked it. I'm sorry if I've offended some...
Was this a James M. Huncho hug?
This is an unapproved, unwanted, unrequested hug. Okay. I hugged him. I gave the security guard the phone. I smiled at him and said, "Ha!" I stood there. Thierry, that is the image you just saw. And he probably will never want to meet me ever again.
Did he say anything to you?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of went blank in the moment. I'll be real. He may have said, "Cecil, it's an honor to meet you." He probably didn't say that. But in my head, that was what was going around.
Wow.
So that happened. And afterwards, I left. I actually left the event after that as well because my business was done.
At that point, you just got to
go.
Find a bar and just celebrate the night.
Exactly that. And the maddest thing is, listen, I'm grateful. Thank you, AFT. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. Just to be in this space is incredible. And I actually did a post on LinkedIn to say it was amazing seeing the amount of creators there and how this space is thriving, and it's incredible. But that was unbelievable. I never thought I'd ever get to meet Thierry. I grew up, honestly, I can't explain to you how much of an idol he is to me. It was incredible. But I've met Kate Abdu before. I've met Alexis.
By the way, I know your 6th Infinity Stone. You forgot to mention Arsene Wenger. I don't think.
Wenger, of course. Yeah. Of course.
So it was Wenger, Arteta, Wenger, Henry, the Kroenkes, Edu, and David Dean. I mean, that's quite a... slight disrespect to Vinay Venkateshan, where you also met.
Sorry, Vinay. And Tim Lewis and all them. But
fair enough. That's a 6 Infinity Stones. Good on you.
The photos on my wall at my house now.
Nicole says, I rate it to be fair. Matthew says, Cecil Wild. Geek says, Henri said, please let me go and stop sniffing my neck. Leave him alone, would you? Says Rampage. And then, yeah, plenty of others. It's Henri, I don't blame you, says best in the world.
Come on.
Benji, you put in Arsene Wenger in the chat, so you're right. You were just reminding us there. Cecil is big time. Well done, Cecil. I'm happy for you. We've got a couple super chats as well. First person that came to mind is Rice Baby, says Brian, I think talking on the captain's debate. And Constantine says, guys, I can't log into the AFTV Plus app. Okay, Constantine, we'll have a look on our end. I don't know if there's anything, because some people have been able to join us, so it might be a fault on your end, but do any problems, do email info@aftv.co.uk and we can look into the issue more, because obviously we want everyone to be able to access this amazing feature. You can see am I pointing to it? There you go, right there, the phone. You can join us on FANZONE and have your say. We're going to get some callers in just a sec. I want to ask them all about Ivan Toney before we finally get into the North London Derby chat. Yep. We've been linked, Cess.
Yep.
Let's just keep it just to the point. Yes or no? Would you do that deal January?
Come on, James. Yes, I think even in January, if that's
rather than wait for Osimhen, Evan Ferguson, whoever in the summer.
Evan Ferguson's lovely. No, yes, straight away. I actually believe if it was just him in the January window, this is just me speaking for myself, I'd be happy. I like Ivan Toney. Some little discrepancies. He's a Liverpool fan. He's talking about Drogba.
No, but do you hear him?
I know he said about Arsenal, but I feel like he's doing the flirting thing with multiple clubs.
But also, knew like I'm sorry, that was calculated. Who do you support? Liverpool, but I really like Arsenal. What? Liverpool, but I really like.
He knows what he's doing.
Huh. I think Mikel might have picked up the phone.
Yes, Edu, straight away.
What do we keep here? We only have players who want to play. Listen, we might be reading too much into it, but there have been reports and rumours that Arsenal are relooking this deal as a Tottenham and Chelsea. And it's worth remembering that, because he seems pretty gettable at around 50, 60, 70 million. That's not a crazy deal when you see the prices that clubs are paying for players. Chelsea need a striker. Tottenham need a striker. We aren't as desperately in need. But we have David Raya, and we are already starting to see with Havertz as well, that long ball link up. Could Arsenal maybe strike that back? Let's ask fans about it on FANZONE. Ivan Toney, we've got Abe joining us, I believe. How you doing?
Well done. What are you saying?
Go on, Abe, man, come straight. What are you saying? Go on, Abe. What top is that? Is that the Arsenal top that I'm seeing in
Yeah.
Come on, G.
Yeah, I saw the Ian Wright picture on the Fashion Week thing. And I was like, I need to get that immediately.
Is this the one? Is this the sponsorless one? The one that they wear?
Yeah, with just the gun. Yeah,
it is nice. I've seen it.
£90, but I hear it. It's a lot of money, but I hear it because I saw that and said I need to get that.
Ivan Toney, 60 million in January. Would you do that, or would you save it for summer and go bigger if possible?
I honestly don't think we need bigger. I think we just need to keep Jesus fit. I think between Jesus and Nketiah, we got it covered. Wow. I wouldn't say no to someone like Toney, but I think we forget. I think we kind of disrespect Jesus a bit. I think there's a narrative about him not being prolific, and I think he's one of the best strikers in the world. I just think he's at Man City. He was playing underneath one of the best strikers of all time in Aguero. And when he came to Arsenal, he was injured for half the season. But I've been at all the home games this season and watching Jesus a couple of days ago against PSV. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he's crazy.
It's ridiculous, and I still feel like he's finding fitness and form. And again, also still, if you believe this, kind of still gelling with the team. He's not had that many long runs a game as a starter. So, but no, I don't think anybody in the top six of the Premier League could say no to Toney. But I wouldn't be disappointed if we didn't get him personally.
It's a very good angle and a very good conversation we're having here, because you're kind of saying really believe in what we have so far. Do you believe that can get us over the line then without Toney? And I'm talking about obviously, I'm going to say Champions League, you can say Premier League, because you're right, we share the goals. Jesus is crucially underrated. I think maybe from us, if you watch him, he's a superb talent. I think the debate comes as we need a natural goal scorer, but do we? Do you think Arsenal can still get it over the line with the strikers we have, with the backup of Eddie and with Jesus?
Yeah, I do. Wow. I think Jesus is a natural goal scorer. I just think he does. I think he just does a lot of other things as well. Like I think he can hit the balls as well as anybody, and he can get himself in positions. I think it's just a matter of keeping him fit and him having a long run of games. And also, Odegaard scored 15 goals last season. Do you know what I mean? And so happy that he's got this contract extension. We have Saka, we have Trossard. I think we have like 7 players in our squad who are just like some of the best in the league. So I don't think we necessarily need to like go and chase a Toney personally.
And I think whoever we do look at has got to be a striker though that brings these players into play. You're right about Odegaard's goals and the amount of contribution we get from everyone else. That's why I really like the Toney links, because a shout out Troops, who actually said in the summer, didn't he? He said we should be getting ready for this in January. Now the reports are starting to come out, and that take that at the time was actually, I think some people disagreed with it, let's say. Now it's looking like Arteta is seeing that as another option, but he is very much a striker who, look at the way he brings Mbemo into play and the wing-backs at Brentford. He always did that so well. I can so see him doing that with our forwards.
It's an interesting one as well. Sorry before you jump in there. It's the fact that, Mikel, would Ivan Toney be able to understand, it's a rotational game? Because
probably more than like an Osman for 90 million.
Yeah, this is the question. I think he could as well. And with Jesus, having been able to rotate with that squad depth, I know I'm not mentioning Eddie here, I think it can work. It can work. We got to prioritise, I think, a striker in the next window. But what was you going to say there?
Actually, I wanted to talk about Havertz. Actually,
let's do it.
I actually think that we as a fan base have been incredibly harsh on him. I think we didn't give him a chance before. I think he'd even pulled an Arsenal shot before we sort of slated him. And I honestly think he's only had one terrible game for us. When he gave the ball away and missed that chance. But every other game, he's not been the best player on the pitch. But he's not been terrible. And I actually think against PSV, I thought it was pretty excellent. Like, he didn't put a foot wrong. He was very comfortable on the ball. He was also way more aggressive.
Excellent.
And I think, no, genuinely, I don't think there was a single player on the pitch against PSV that wasn't excellent. And Havertz was one of them. Havertz added to what we did on that day. He may not have been as glamorous as the goal scorers, but there was it was his drive forward that helped us get the Odegaard goal. He drove forward, he beat a couple of defenders and made a very clever pass, which eventually allowed us to keep that phase of attack in play. Yeah. So I think that, I would like people to continue to give Havertz a chance, remembering that it's a new club. He's been at a shithole, for all of his Premier League history. And he's playing a new position. That's the other thing. Like, he's playing a new position with new players. I think in his time, but I think that personally, and I'll go on the record here, I think if Havertz can stay fit, and we can get behind him, I think Havertz could be a legend at Arsenal, if I'm honest.
Wow. That is a massive statement. Do you start him Sunday?
I would start him on Sunday. Absolutely.
I was to check the temperature after all that big talk. If you said I'd have been on you, my friend.
Yeah, I would start him. I would start him.
Mate, absolute pleasure to chat to you. Please call in again.
Of course.
Big up.
See you in a bit. We've got Mans in, I believe, and let's move on to, hey, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Hi, how are you doing, guys?
Yeah, good, man. It's been a while since we've caught up. We went
I've been meaning to come a few times, but
yeah, no, I hear it, man. But
I hear it, man. Sorry.
You think you're funny?
I hear it.
I'm still getting over Cecil's story about Henry.
I know.
Mad.
I know.
Mad.
Poor
Super
Thierry,
inspirational. The closest I got to that, I actually have a photo with Patrick Vieira somewhere in the archives.
Wow.
I mean, that's
about it, though.
Also,
and I didn't even ask for it because I'm too shy. I had an adult that was with me go ask him. He was very, very easy about it.
Yeah. To be fair, sometimes you need that to be shy, because screaming TT is a bit of is wild, if I'm honest. Now thinking back to
be fair, Cecil, I must have been about 11 or 12 years old. So
that makes sense.
That is completely fair enough.
I'm 27.
Right now, I might have been like, Patrick.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, no, and good for Cess, man. I mean, any chance of an interview with Thierry Henry on AFTV is down the train now, but appreciate it, man.
One day, I promise we'll get Thierry here.
Let's talk North London derby now, and it's kind of leading on from what the last caller said about Havertz, who I think was improved against PSV. There were things I liked. I thought he had a good thing going with Raya. Actually, I didn't realise how many times Raya did actually find him with that long pass, and we made something of it. But does he keep his place against what is a physical Tottenham midfield of Bassoon, Massar? We know that Mateta, that Maddison, floats in those spaces, causes trouble. Declan Rice will be there. Does Vieira come back in? Do you bring in Jorginho and give Rice more of a box to box, or how do we get the make of our midfield? And could Havertz be a weapon in this game?
Not to start, no.
Fair enough.
Not in my opinion. You say he's improved, but he's improved because his first couple of games were that bad. I don't want to say that bad, but that he could only have gotten better.
True. No, I agree. Against United and Fulham,
Yeah.
he was poor. Not even. Oh, not quite 65 million. No, he was actually bad. If we'd signed him for 10 million, I'd have thought he was bad. But
exactly.
I thought against PSV, he was legitimately good. Not just this is good for Havertz. I actually thought he contributed pretty significantly.
The biggest thing Havertz has done so far, he's unlocked Vieira.
Yeah, Fabio Vieira.
Yeah, not Patrick Vieira, but Fabio Vieira.
It's not quite what he's trying to do, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think if we go by merit, and I really like Fabio Vieira, I was very surprised that after one season he's got that much criticism, and he didn't get the chances that Havertz is getting right now. He was properly on the bench when he arrived to Arsenal.
It's very true.
And after one season, people saying sell him. There was always. I had the chance to see him at Porto a few times, and there was always a player in there, and you're seeing that player right now. And if we go by merit, he has to start against Tottenham. It will be a physical game, but we've got rights for that. We got a team of youngsters that's very hardworking, so the pressing is high either way. So even when we come up against players who are maybe physically got better attributes, we don't seem to have the inferiority complex. We go for the pressing. We are very good at getting the ball back. We are good at winning second balls. So I need skillful and ready players in there. And Havertz just seems to slow down our game. He is a very skillful player, Kai Havertz. Very skillful, very technical on the ball. So when Raya finds him, he's, chests it down, brings other players into play. He's good at that, but he's still adapting. So if we want, and we got to think about right now, and Spurs have had a very good start to the season, and people are saying we're going to run through them. I hope we do. I hope they do have the audacity to come to the Emirates and play their open game, Postecoglou football.
Audacity, I love that word.
Yeah.
Rock and roll football as expressions.
Do you think, Mans? Do you think we are going to win this derby based on that? If they come and play their football, do you think we've got enough to ultimately stop them?
If they count what?
If Tottenham come and play the football they've been playing, which let's give them credit.
We will win the game if they play what they are playing right now.
I agree.
Yeah, but then again, he doesn't know how to play any other way. I think he's not the manager that's going to come and park the bus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what if there's a surprise?
He's got his philosophy. He's gonna advance that philosophy. He's not gonna come and when you do that against us, you've seen PSV. I know Tottenham have got better players than PSV, but I do think we're gonna win. I do think there's gonna be goals in the game.
Is it going to be a demolish? Is it going to be a demolishing from where you're sat?
That's what Turkish has gone with.
Yeah,
Turkish has gone with 5-1.
I hope so. But I think Turkish's prediction is based slightly on what we've just done to PSV. I think we've got to take into account they've got much better players than PSV Tottenham. They've got Son, they got Kulusevski. They're in good spirits. They've just won against Sheffield. I know it's Sheffield, but they didn't do a Spursy where they would lose that game. They actually won in the end.
Yeah.
And I think they're in good spirits, so I think they're coming here confident. But the thing is, we're so far ahead of them at the moment. We've been doing this for a whole season. So I think we can be confident going into that game. The only thing is if he starts Havertz, our game is not as good when Havertz plays.
Lots of questions.
When Vieira came into the team, we saw more fluidity. That game started coming back, fluidity in the team. I just hope he doesn't look at the PSV game and think,
Yeah, fair enough. Mans, always a pleasure chatting to you, mate. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you, man. See you soon.
Pick up the Odegaard song.
Yes. Tune, by the way.
We've got Joel calling in next.
I've got the lyrics to that, but
Jordan's not. Hey, Joel, how you doing? Jordan wasn't impressed by the Odegaard song. He said on Forever Arsenal, he went, "It's crap."
What's wrong with him?
And he tends to say most things are crap.
He tried to say the Simon Cherry match was crap. I had a massive go at him for that. Sorry, Joel. But anyway, he apologised for that. But Joel, hello, how are you?
What's wrong with him?
I know, exactly. What's he? Listen, all three of us on the same mindset. What's wrong with Jordan?
Jordan's my guy. He fought for my Community Shield point at Forever Arsenal, man.
Well,
I left him and Lee to join the dark side and give Turkish his. Do you watch Forever Arsenal?
I do.
Did you see the drama last night?
Yeah, but I still have a question with what Jordan is saying most of the times.
That's fair enough. Did I or did I not sell my soul for an extra point?
Let's say 50-50.
I'll take that.
I'll take them odds.
I'll have that. That's all right. I don't mind people feeling indifferent about it. Joel, Tottenham come to town, and we are good at home against them. We are. But you know what scares me? Because I'm just quite a pessimist when it comes to Arsenal. Records are there to be broken. You know, these streaks, they come to an end. How long did we not win at Old Trafford? No, but there are derbies I remember. 2019. Where we went in with Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and we had this new front line, and we were going to outscore them, and they're on the decline, and we were 2-0 down going into half time before Lacazette pulls on back. We draw that game. I remember 2010-11. I'm going a bit back now. Shamak leading the line, Fabregas, Nasri, all those players. Nasri in great form.
3-2.
We were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Cruising.
That handball was
cruise control.
That handball.
And then they win 3-2.
Yeah.
Like, there are derbies where, weirdly, when I feel like Arsenal are confident they're the team that are going to go do it, we somehow balls it up somehow. And there's the derbies where I actually think we're more concerned about what they can do, that we step up and we prove a point, we flex our muscles and go, hold on, we're the Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that this is more we're expecting to win rather than
I think that's the feeling. Joe, how are you feeling? Because I'm confident.
The points are very, very right, because what James said was we've been on the pump in those kind of situations. The only difference is what was the back line then and what is the back line now. The question...
Holding Cedric when we played him away.
Sanya, Giroud, Gibbs.
What's the back line?
Yeah. Saliba, Gabriel. Yeah.
The back line is pretty sorted out. Who the four that are going to step on the field? The fifth is a question on what Mikel goes with. But yeah, to answer that point, every time we point to a derby confident because of our attack, we somehow miss the key part of being defensive. Right now, we're more stable at the back. We're having questions of whether it's going to be Havertz in midfield or who's going to start up front. So the questions are more on the front end of the field rather than the back end, which keeps it more same. But to agree with you, James, not as optimistic as the predictions going around. I would happily take a confident 1-0 again.
Yeah. Oh! Someone offer me 1-0 right now. Yes, I'll take. I don't care.
Would you?
I
know. Sorry,
3 points.
I know Turkish went 5-1, but I don't know what the confidence in me is.
I don't care if it's an ugly 1-0 off the back of Vicario's arse own goal. Like, I do not care. Whatever it takes. 1-0. I don't care if both teams end up with 8 men. Like, at the end of the game, 1-0 to the Arsenal, North London derby. Yes, I want that.
It's a weird one. Sorry, Joe.
We can do better, but
yeah, because I see it playing now. If you're the players,
you don't play with fire.
I know, but if you're the players at Arsenal,
games, man.
You play Arsenal, the players at Arsenal right now, the Champions League game right against PSV. That is a big moment for these players. They rose to that occasion so much. For them to then go say it's a North London derby. I know it's another big occasion, but that is to me. Well, it's not to me, it was on par with a Champions League first game, but they might be thinking it's a big night, this is another big night, do the same as what you've done before. Ange's going to come and I expect to play. Like that guy said before, I don't see him having a plan B. I think he's going to try and play at the Emirates, which would be naive of him, and we should be able to take them apart. But again, I know people are saying 1-0, I expect a bit of a demolishing. There'll be goals, but yeah.
Joel, what's your score prediction?
I mean, I said I'd take 1-0 happily, but my prediction lies more on the fact of us stopping them from doing what they've been doing for the last 5 years. There's a huge quota of rock and roll football and stuff. You want to show Tottenham more of where their play is rather than what the score is. Prediction-wise, I go 2-1 because I see them scoring. I see one moment of lapse coming around. Because that rock and roll football, if they keep going, if they have a decent amount of it, I see us missing one, but I still predict to win 1.
And final question. Who's your starting goalkeeper? I know.
I have 4 locked in, but I don't know about the 5th one. But given what happened the week before, I mean, this week with the 2 games, I'd still stick to Raya simply because I want to see him tested. I mean, to drop him, he's not been tested in the last 2 games, and that's pretty obvious because we saw both the games. If he tested and then there is a debate to be had about whether it's Raya or Ramsdale, but because he's not been tested and he's not done anything wrong, to be frankly honest. The back four look in sync with the keeper, I'd still keep him.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
Joel,
Joel.
you've been great. Thank you. Do call again. We've got Guna Down Under next. I believe.
Yes, a return.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm doing good.
No.
Don't know why I'm not in frame, but hopefully you can fix that up.
I was gonna say, there you
Better
go.
or worse.
He's like,
There we go.
good. No, big up, man. It's good to see you again. I know we spoke last time I was on FANZONE with you as well, buddy. So big up you. You're still not in frame, but it's fine. I don't mind speaking to half a face. There he is. We also obviously got the North London derby coming up on Sunday. I don't want to do too much of a spoiler because we did a predictive 11 video that's coming out. But I just want to ask, would you make any changes for that game from what you saw against PSV? Would you make any changes to that 11? Because I feel like that 11 has earned the right to start again. Or do you think there'll be some changes made? This guy's killing me.
I don't know what's happening with this thing, but
So I'll do the other half. I'll do the other half of the face.
perfect. We can balance it out together.
We can just, there we go. We can just, yeah.
That's weirdly as close as he got to Thierry Henry. Ironically, yeah. Genuinely.
This is my moment right now.
This is my face before we took the photo.
I've never known. I don't mean to be rude, but why is it so difficult? Is the
camera's just
I don't
slowly.
know. I think my camera's got like vertigo or something. It's moving around all over the place. I'm trying to.
Well, that's good.
Still,
There we
but
go.
somehow it's like.
We're good.
That's
moving everywhere.
working. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll stay here.
This is brilliant. And any changes to on Sunday?
I think I'd rock with pretty much the same 11.
Yep.
My major thing, I guess, with the game is sort of like what James touched upon. I feel like at some point this record might get snapped. And I feel like every year it gets scarier and scarier because you don't know if this is the year.
Stop that. Live a little bit.
No,
Go down under. Stop being pessimistic.
That's the
Enjoy
pessimist
it.
in me.
Enjoy
My
it.
brain should say, we are really good at home, be confident.
Yes.
My brain goes, but every year it becomes more and more against the odds that the run keeps going. Like, that's how my brain works. It's terrible. It's a terrible mentality.
And other things, like even though I'm sort of the Guna down under, I'm also half Brazilian, so I watch the Brazil team a lot.
Nice.
And even though I don't like Richarlison, he is a very streaky player. And I feel like the fact that he got a goal recently is not a good sign. I feel like he sort of scores in little bunches and then goes cold for ages when his confidence is low or he's not in the rhythm. And so I think that's something where if he gets a goal against us, that's absolutely gross. But I feel like it might happen.
It's absolutely gross. It's a great way to describe it.
How do Arsenal approach this game? Do they try and suffocate Tottenham, go punch for punch and say, oh, that football, that's cute, let's show you what we can do? Or do they respect Tottenham? Because the one thing about Arteta, he's shown quite early already, he's not taking the defensive lapses of last season lightly. He's addressing that by signing a new goalkeeper, by making tweaks to the defence, not having us so open going forward. But also, you look at that Man United game, he said, let Onana have it. Let Man United play out the back in their half, because who cares? Let's keep a nice shape. We know they like the counter. We know that's what they do best. And then when we get the ball, we'll do our best. And we weren't even at our best against United, but we caused them enough. Do you think he's going to address Postecoglou's football and tweak with the system?
I get that, but I think also Tottenham's midfield can do a little bit more damage than United's.
Oh, 100%.
So I think, with our sort of box midfield, I think we need to just try and control the game and try and take Maddison out of it as much as possible. Because I feel like if he's sort of quiet, we're sort of in control of the game. Yes, they have some players who can sort of counterattack, but I think, don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're also better at not exposing ourselves, unless if it's a silly mistake. I feel like we don't get broken down a lot.
Yeah. And
I would sort of take the game to them and try and just win it, especially it's at the Emirates. Like, we can't sort of pay them too much respect.
Definitely. Just before we, because we've got a lot of callers, move on. So just remind me, so you said not make any changes to the 11 that we saw at PSV, or would you make a change in any?
Yeah, I'd go to the same one. Havertz has one more opportunity. A lot of people sort of say Havertz scores in big games. So...
more opportunity is hard. It's only 5 games in. That's quite harsh, but listen.
To start. At least then, like, work is back in. Yeah.
You know what?
Not Havertz out yet.
Oh, no, it's too early. But you know what I could see? Yeah, Romero, good. He's been very good for Tottenham this season. Tottenham fans keep telling us, and I think there's a good defender in there for sure. He's actually not the tallest of centre-backs. He's about 6'1", maybe. Havertz is 6'3", 6'4". I could easily see if Raya's starting this game that we target Romero for the second balls and that we actually go, by the way, just being taller, Havertz, doesn't mean he's better in the air.
Thank you for saying that.
But there's an advantage there. And having built something really good with Raya in that PSV game, getting on the end of his long raking passes, getting us up the pitch, I think there's a good chance that Havertz plays and then almost Jesus will drop into that space to pick up second balls or whatever. So that might be something Arsenal explore. Go on, give us your score prediction.
I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. I think
nervy guys.
But I think we have to just scrape it. As well, not to sort of be shameless, but if anyone watching could subscribe to Guna Down Under TV, that'd be awesome. So yeah, big fan of the channel as well. So really love all that you guys do.
Thank you so much.
Well, best of luck with it all, and thanks for calling. Please call again.
Will do. Thank you.
Take care. He's as nervy.
Guna Down Under TV.
Guna Down Under TV. He's as nervy as his phone at the beginning of that video. Just. But anyway, I get it. It's a North London derby. It's a big game. I need to kind of chill my excitement for it. I love seeing Arsenal.
I'm both. I'm pumped. Yeah. Then I'm nervous. Then I'm excited. Then I'm like, it's 2 days away. Stop thinking about it. And I'm all over the place. I'm a mess. Why do we do this for ourselves?
Honestly,
people ask me that. What are you doing this weekend? I'm like, North London derby. They're like, what? I'm like, it's the North London derby, and they're like, cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a big deal, Arsenal Tottenham. They're like, great, I'm with my family. I'm like, that sounds wholesome and lovely and much healthier than what I do to myself.
This is my life. They're like, I said the same thing. It's North London derby. Like, yeah, but Saturday it's not. I said, no, but it is because I have to prepare myself for Sunday.
Yeah, I feel nervous right now. Yeah, like I'm an anxious wreck right now.
So I can't do anything Saturday. I'm like, Sunday, you can't get to me.
But you know what's so funny is that, do you remember Jack Grealish once saying he didn't come on for Man City the day they won the title on the final day of the season against Villa?
Yeah.
And he was asked about it and he was like, weirdly, I feel more nervous off the pitch. If I'm on it, I know I can do something, but off it. And I think as fans, we feel that. I think the players are excited to play because while I've obviously never played in a North London derby, whenever I played football in games that, for whatever reason, are derbies or they're a bigger deal, and you normally get butterflies before. Yeah, you are up for it though, and you're like, this is the one I want to turn up for. When you're on the side, you can't impact it. I'm just there going, please Arteta, get this right. Please Jesus, take your chances. Please Havertz, play well. Amen. Please Saliba, Gabriel, Raya, Ramsdale, whoever, don't make any mistakes. Please referees, get your do your jobs right. Please Declan Rice, dominate midfield. And you're just hoping, and that's what being a fan is. It's putting your faith and trust in the team that can cause you heartbreak.
It can ruin your whole weekend or your week, or make it amazing.
Let's get our final caller, Stephen.
Stephen, are you there?
How are you, Stephen?
Hey, my friend. Good to see you again.
Let me ask
what's going on,
I think it's you guys.
He's trolling us. He's trolling us.
No, it's definitely you.
My brother.
Definitely, you look. Yeah, so it's definitely you guys.
We're in the same spot in every call. There's no way it's us. There you go.
It's definitely you. Can you see me now?
Loud and clear.
We can see that.
Crystal clear.
The whole face, perfect. Thank you. Stay there. Do not move.
Tell me, why do we do it to ourselves? Why do we support football clubs and put ourselves through this stress? Are you stressed? Are you nervous?
Oh man, this is quite scary actually, because Tottenham is talking a lot. I just finished watching Troops and X. He's talking. I think we need to do something. We definitely need to do something. Those guys are talking a lot.
They'll say we're talking a lot though.
But to be honest, we deserve it. We were second last year, and I don't know where they were. So yeah, I think we need to do something. We definitely need to put them in that little box.
In their place. I think you're right in what you say there. We are loud as well, and we are confident, but we have a bit more reason to be because of, like you mentioned, last season. We're both unbeaten currently, so there is. I understand why Tottenham fans are enjoying, the resurgence, and they haven't been beaten yet. So I understand there's a slight air of confidence, but we've just beaten PSV. I know it's PSV 4-0 at home. Last season we could come in second, and we're unbeaten as well. So I get them being a bit loud, but I understand why we have a bit more chest, and we should have a bit more chest.
Also, the North London derby has tended to swing in favour of the home team.
Agreed.
And, you know, obviously we won there last season. I just mentioned the last time they beat us when it really felt like they surely weren't going to, but they did. You know, it can happen. And actually we had a string of 3 years where they got 3 1-1 draws in a row. That was around the Pochettino day. So we've not always been immaculate in the North London derby at home. But the one thing I think is that we are, being the home team and with the trajectory of last season and 2 clean sheets and, you know, 7 goals in our last 2 games at the Emirates, I think Arsenal fans are right to feel confident. I just hope the players go out with the right professionalism and the right head on their shoulders, because they got to treat this like any other game. The worst thing they can do is hype Tottenham up in their heads.
Yeah.
Because then Tottenham get the game they want.
Exactly. Stephen, who are you worried about from Tottenham? What worries you?
To be honest, right now, Madison, I think that guy is quite tricky right now. I think Madison and Basuma, I think we need to be a little bit careful with those two. But other than that, to be honest, I think we should be fine. And also, to be honest, for us, actually, right now, we've got Jesus is cooking, actually. Yeah, Jesus is really, really cooking.
Hallelujah. Amen. He is cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's cooking big. So, yeah, and one of the things, actually, what you talked about, kind of like who to put in and who not to put in, especially our goalkeeper. I feel sorry for Ramsdale because Raya just came in and he looks so kind of, it's like a glove. It's like everyone is comfortable. Even Lee himself is like, what? Yeah. This guy is so perfect. It's like, even when he's got the ball, everyone is comfortable. So it's not nice for Rambo, but Raya, he fits. It's like he was meant to be there, which is scary. I thought maybe Arteta was like, okay, I'll put Raya for Everton so that he can play Champions League. But then watching those 2 games, you're like, you can't.
Distribution was good, wasn't it? His distribution was very, very, very good.
It was amazing. It was one more.
It was scary, but and again, the Havertz one. I'm a little bit. I'm not sure about the guy yet. I know that people are saying that give him time, but to be honest, I'm not so sure. I feel like he suffocates up there. There's not much space when he's there. It's like there is one man missing. I remember this morning, what do you call him? Jordan. Nobody likes him, but I think he made a very, very good point. I think...
Carry on.
I had to fight for Jordan, man. Jordan's the best, but...
No, he did.
That was unnecessary, but that did tickle me.
No, he made a really good point this morning. He said that during our last game, he seemed as if he was hiding. It seems so, to be honest. It seemed like he was hiding. And I think he suffocates. It's little like kind of like jammed up there when he's there. I don't know what to do with him. Maybe he's still learning, but I think he need to come from the bench. Maybe Vieira or even Smith.
Okay, Steve, listen, before you go, my friend, just give me a score prediction. What do you think the score is going to be?
Man, I'm just going to go with Turkish, man. We need 4-1.
He went 4-1 on Forever and he went 5-1 on Big Six. So he's
I thought he went 5-1 on Forever. I thought he kept consistency. He went 4-1
5 on Big Six.
No.
And he did 5-1 in the box to box, which I believe I don't know if it's out yet, but
I'm definitely going for. I think we can hammer them because they are coming out here to play this Koglu ball, whatever they're calling it. I think no, we would do them. I think 4.
Okay. Well, listen, Steve, thank you.
I hope you are right.
Yeah, I hope you're right as well, my friend. Have a great weekend, and hopefully it'll be, celebrative as much as with all of us if it will win from Arsenal. So thank you so much for joining us, my
definitely.
friend.
Thank you, man.
Take care.
Amazing.
Just quickly, listen, what a great show. Thank you everyone that got involved on FANZONE. It's very simple. Go on the AFTV Plus app and you can literally join these conversations. We do these so regularly. Make sure you join us. We have had some super chats come in, but I do want to say that I'm going a bit of a spoiler in the Predict 11. I did want to see the same team as we saw against PSV. I think the Havertz thing is definitely still, for me, there's question marks. I'm still yet to be proven stuff, but I think that can be lift off for a player. If you do amazing again in the North London derby, many players, are made at Arsenal. They feel like they finally assert themselves in big games like that. So
Havertz does also know what it means to play a massive game against Tottenham.
Exactly.
The Chelsea-Tottenham rivalry is huge.
Big, yeah.
Some argue as big, if not bigger. I mean, as in terms of pure hatred, because it's not just based on.
It's a great point, by the way.
Geography, for example. Havertz has a degree of experience in it. I just wonder how Arteta will tactically approach it. Should we go to super chat from Crosstech? Says,
very nice.
What you guys have all built collectively is amazing. Thank you for the content and the insights into the best club in the world. We really appreciate it, and thank you for your support, and everyone as well in the comments. Lots of comments coming in saying Son and Maddison are their biggest threats. That's Crosstech as well. There was another one. Tom thinks he's got the solution to Gunnar Down Under's problems. I think it's Apple's center stage feature that's messing people's camera angles. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, how dare Steve blaming us? Cheeky. It's you, not us.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely trolling us.
That was funny.
There was a nice conversation about, he said he hadn't had a player on the back of his shirt for a while. I can't remember who said it. Who was the first player you had on the back of your shirt?
Bro.
Was it Henry?
Come on, bro. Most of my tops are Henry's tops.
Mine's a strange one, actually. My first was Thomas.
Rosicky? Pardon?
No.
Rosicky? Thomas?
No, Cecil G. Thomas. on the
I've got that as well, to be fair. Thank you. Thierry also...
It wasn't an Arsenal shirt. Who did you play for?
Crawley Town. Thank you. That warms my heart. Thank you, James. Make sure I can come and sign that, and you can hang that up.
Yeah, no worries. We'll put it in your new studio. The dynamic duo, James times Cecil. Great initiative. Thank you so much. Keep going, boys. North London Derby. Come on, you Gunners.
It's come up to 3 years since we've been here, James.
Come on, Arsenal. A nice 3 years present would be great.
Oh, that'd be unreal. Please get the win. We can't lose. No,
I'm actually so stressed, you know. I don't think I've been this nervous going to a derby for a while.
Nah, last year was stress. This one, I feel a lot more at ease. But I say that it comes to Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be a mess. But right now, I'm quite chill for now. For now, he says. But yes, listen, thank you everyone that has joined us though on this Fan Zone Live. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. It's very easy. You can connect to us from wherever you are in the world by downloading the FANZONE Plus app and just clicking straight on.
All free to do and so easy, genuinely.
Exactly that. And if you like the tops that we're wearing, especially the GOAT himself, you can find them at shop.aftv.co.uk. Come and join the merch team. It's looking all very good. And yeah, I might sign out by just singing when he's on the ball, he's magical, my Odegaard. Oi, 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 oi.
Nah, Jordan's right. See you later.
Take care, everyone. See you soon.